All right, welcome back to
We had a
Sisters and
small
Law.
little glitch there, but we're back. We understand with Facebook Live, you can't go but so long without having a freeze.
That's okay, but this, ladies and gentlemen, is something else, because I want to make sure that I read to you and you don't think that it's my opinion. The psychological community has written a letter, an op-ed they put in the New York Times.
Most recently?
Most recently,
Okay.
indicating that they believe that 45 is unfit.
Because he's what?
Because he's a narcissist.
And the narcissism
And let
is
me
actually
tell
a
you,
diagnosis?
It is a symptom of a mental disorder, narcissism.
My goodness.
Now, you cannot make this up. A narcissist is a person that has grandiose logic of self-importance, check.
Yeah, okay.
A fixation with fantasies of infinite success, control, brilliance, beauty, and identical love.
He has been a success,
check.
Despite his bankruptcy. He's been a great success throughout the course of his career.
A credence that he or she is extraordinary. Remember, he knows everything. This is a man who was asked, have you ever asked God for forgiveness? He said, that's a hard question. I don't need.
That was the subject of the interview. I was taken
I
back
need
by
to be
that, by the
forgiven.
answer. By that answer. in and of
Well,
itself.
that he doesn't. So this is a man who thinks
perfect.
No, he thinks he's God. I keep telling you. We were also. It says that a desire of unwanted admiration. Remember, he has to still have rallies in order for.
He's had a couple since he was inaugurated. A couple of campaign-like rallies with his supporters, where he gets a lot of cheers.
A sense of entitlement, and interpersonal oppressive behavior. No form of empathy. You notice that when he talks about the handicap.
Well, that was during the course of the campaign.
Well, it's still, he's not changed. He has not changed. A resentment of others, or a conviction that others are resentful of him and her. He thinks everybody's against him, and then he's against.
Well, the press is against him.
Well,
I guess that's everybody.
When he calls people stupid, when he says, the media is the most illegal thing in the world. I mean, that shows his power.
Are you saying he's hitting every point on
this
the narcissist?
Is the last one.
Okay,
the last one. A display of egotistical convictions and behavior or attitudes at all times. If we need to go to the DSM, that's the
Diagnostic and Treatment Manual. What is the DSM?
That is the Bible of what we call the psychiatric community.
And the psychological community.
There it gives you exactly. I mean, they need to just put Donald Trump's picture next to narcissists.
All right, Judge T.
But if it is found now. I don't know if we remember.
You talked about the reason this came about. This was in the Goldwater era. So that's a long time ago. Now, most recently, they've done the psychiatric community has written an open letter. In the New York Times.
But
and
you
they're
don't have
suggesting
to,
what? That's a ground for
anytime if they believe that he is incapable of making reasonable and rational decisions on behalf of the United States and mentally deranged, which I agree with.
That might be a little down the line. I understand that you're sowing the seeds, but
let me tell you,
right now we've got a lot of things that we don't necessarily agree with.
One at a time. One at a time.
Okay, well, we've got the emoluments clause and potentially now mental fitness as article 2.
That's my first two.
All right. Well, let's talk about some of the things that they're actually affecting folks within everything affects folks within the community, but there was a reversal last week on the, if you will, the bathroom regulations.
He's coming in with fire. He's basically trying to turn around everything that President Obama has put in place.
When we speak about a reversal, I think it was in the spring of 2016, the Department of Education, and that was under the Obama administration, a letter indicating that under Title IX, gender identity and sex, depending on however you identified or what sex you identified with, that was the sex in the same bathroom that you could go into.
Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, this is my issue with the bathroom.
No.
If you have 5 bathrooms in your house,
yes.
Nobody tells men to go to one bathroom and women go to another bathroom.
Well, from a practical standpoint,
different that I think. I mean, that makes this any different than going to a bathroom in a house or an office is that we put signs on the door.
Okay, so
if you take out urinals and put in private stalls,
I think that. But the reality is that we're dealing in situations in
educational
institutions that
have their
girls' bathrooms and boys' bathrooms, men and. I understand that. So the practical aspect is how do we deal with it?
If their outside represents a certain sex, I do not believe that we should be telling people where they can and cannot go to the bathroom.
Now, but on many levels, I do in fact agree. This came about through Title IX. The Education Department, through Title IX, has said that it is discriminatory if you it is discrimination if you curtail or discriminate against transgender individuals and how they can go to the bathroom or which bathroom.
Well, you know, 45 flipped on that because he was asked at one time when Caitlyn Jenner was visiting at the Tower if she wanted to go to any bathroom, could she go to the ladies' room, and he actually said yes. So, you know, we cannot trust what it is that he is saying. Mm-hmm. So, you know, as
this was during the campaign trail.
But, so you know, people say what they think you want to hear.
Exactly, and now he's done a reversal.
Ladies and gentlemen, we as we continue on, and we're gonna be coming back, and each week I'm going to give you an impeachable, because he gives us enough.
Well, this I wouldn't necessarily falls under an article of compulsion.
No.
This is based on policy, and his policy is, at least the policy now we're experiencing, is that let the states decide what rules should be in effect.
The only time is the states decide if it's to his advantage. If it's not to his advantage, then he wants
I guess the problem I have here is that this is a federal statute. Title IX is a federal statute. Title IX falls under the Department of Education. Title IX specifically says no person in the U.S. shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefit of, or subjected to discrimination. And now there's a young man.
I knew a head of education.
Yes.
She actually was for how it was written under Obama.
Yes, she was, and then she had to do an about face.
They told her either you flip.
Are you saying something positive about Betsy DeVos?
They told Betsy either you flip
might actually
or resign.
End up liking Betsy.
No, Betsy.
No, we might like Betsy.
They gave her an
option. We talked
option.
a whole lot about her, but she may be an independent thinker, except when
not when the
axe is over her head.
No,
okay.
They told her to either flip or resign. She flipped.
Is that a leak? Is that the subject of the leak? Well, we do know that she flipped.
Yes.
We do know that, but again, how do you leave it? A federal law happens to be. There's a Supreme Court case emanating out of Virginia featuring a 17-year-old who is a 17-year-old. I think his last name is Gavin. First name is Gavin Grimm. And ultimately, I think the Supreme Court is going to weigh in on this whole issue and decide whether your biological sex or the sex that you identify with will rule in this particular case. And that's what we're talking about. It's an interpretation of what sex discrimination is. And some people are saying it's your biological sex, and some people are saying that sex is equivalent to the gender that you identify with.
I think we need to have this is going to be a long argument. Some of it for its religious purposes for others, and some of it is just your personal business.
Well, parents are concerned over
how the
safety, and
the
what they're exposed to.
One of the First Lady Melania said that her biggest issue is going to be bullying. Who gets bullied more
than
transgender kids?
Individuals?
So I want to see where she falls on this.
I suspect she's going to be silent.
She
may want to say certain things, but
she's going to be saying it from the top of Trump Tower because she's still not at the White House. But I don't think Trump is there either.
Well, she can live wherever she. Another issue. I don't know if we really have time to delve into this because I haven't really seen a whole lot of reports. But there's been an uptick in ICE detentions. All I can tell you is that through my conversations throughout the community, and particularly with some of the educators and those who run schools, And those schools that are heavily populated by Spanish-speaking individuals, there's a real fear out there. The educators indicated that some of her students aren't coming to school out of fear of being detained because there are actual incidences within the neighborhood where people are being stopped.
We're gonna do a little more research on that next week, and I think and there's also been an uptick on anti-Semitic acts.
Yes.
I was so disgusted. I forget the state where they actually went through a Jewish cemetery and just crashed about more than 100 headstones.
But whenever you desecrate any cemetery, but in particular they targeted one.
45 was a little late in coming out to even speak about that, and you know he's already shut down a Jewish news person at one of the correspondent press conferences. So it's. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to just affect Mexicans. It's going to affect all of us.
There are many people whose status within this country is, if you will, illegal, to use the parlance that's out there. There are a lot. They're not just Mexicans. There's not just people of Spanish-speaking heritage. There are people from the islands. Who are the Caribbean. There are people from England. There are people from Poland. There are people from all over the world here who managed to stay beyond their visas or somehow get in this country and then stay. But what I find troubling is that ICE appears to be going after easy targets, and easy targets
I saw a young 16-year-old taken out of school.
They're easily a 16-year-old.
Yes, 16.
Something.
Yeah, 16.
Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be we're coming to a close, but we really want you to stay engaged. You remember, we're on YouTube. We're on, as you know, Facebook Live every Sunday. Our YouTube tape shows will coming up on Wednesday.
Yes.
And we want you to continue to ask us questions. We can send us even emails, sistersinlaw at gmail.com. And keep giving us more and more information that you want to hear about maybe towns that you live in or situations where you're being affected personally by
the media
this.
Doesn't report everything.
Yes, some things are, politics is local also. So we thank you for joining us here again at Sisters in Law. We'll see you again on next Sunday with myself, Judge T.
And Rosalyn Charles. Catch our upcoming show on Wednesday, our tape show, which will be released on Wednesday. Join us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join us on Twitter, and we'd like to see you on Instagram also.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.